The old white house, a stark silhouette against the inky Iowa sky, stood as a monument to a night of unspeakable horror. Locals whispered of the Villisca Axe murders, a chilling tale etched into the town's history, a stain that time could not erase. The house itself, once a symbol of domestic tranquility, now exuded an aura of dread, a palpable sense of unease that clung to its weathered walls. Drawn by a morbid curiosity, a desire to confront the darkness that lingered within, I decided to spend a night in the infamous Villisca Axe Murder House. As I stepped across the threshold, a chill snaked down my spine, a sensation that had nothing to do with the cool night air. The house felt heavy, oppressive, as if the very walls were saturated with the lingering echoes of violence. The air was thick with the scent of dust and decay, a musty aroma that spoke of years of neglect. The furniture, relics of a bygone era, stood shrouded in shadows, their forms distorted by the dim light of my flashlight. I set up my equipment, cameras, recorders, EMF meters, and settled into the living room, a space that once echoed with the laughter of children, now a silent testament to a night of unimaginable terror. The silence was profound, broken only by the creaks and groans of the old house settling, the whispering wind that rattled the windows, and the frantic beating of my own heart. As the hours passed, the silence grew more oppressive, the atmosphere more charged. I felt a constant sense of being watched, as if unseen eyes were following my every move, scrutinizing my every action. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, shifting and contorting into grotesque shapes, playing tricks on my already heightened senses. Then, I heard it, a faint whisper, a barely audible murmur that seemed to slither through the walls. It was a sound that sent chills down my spine, a sound that spoke of unspeakable horrors. I strained my ears, trying to decipher the words, but they were lost in the cacophony of my own fear. The whisper intensified, morphing into a low, guttural growl that seemed to emanate from the depths of the house. I felt a surge of adrenaline, my blood running cold, my senses on high alert. I grabbed my flashlight, my hand trembling, and cautiously made my way through the darkened rooms. The growl grew louder, closer, as if the source was moving towards me, stalking me through the shadows. I reached the children's bedroom, the site of the most brutal murders, and felt a wave of nausea wash over me. The air was thick with a sense of sorrow, of loss, of something unfinished. I could almost hear the faint echoes of children's laughter, their innocent voices now forever silenced. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and a freezing gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing my flashlight. I was plunged into absolute darkness, surrounded by the oppressive silence of the house. The growl intensified, accompanied by the sound of heavy footsteps, as if a large creature was stalking me through the darkness. I felt a cold, clammy hand brush against my face, and I screamed, a primal sound of terror escaping my lips. I stumbled back, my heart pounding against my ribs, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I fumbled for my backup flashlight, my hands shaking uncontrollably. As I switched it on, I saw it, a figure standing in the doorway, its form shrouded in shadows, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. It was a tall, gaunt figure, its features obscured by darkness, its presence radiating an aura of malevolent intent. The figure moved towards me, its footsteps silent, its presence growing stronger, more menacing. I tried to run, but my legs felt like lead, my body paralyzed with fear. The figure reached out a skeletal hand, its fingers elongated and clawed, and began to choke me, its grip tightening around my throat. I gasped for air, my vision blurring, my senses fading. Then, darkness. I awoke with a start, gasping for breath, my body drenched in sweat. I was lying on the cold, hard floor of the children's bedroom, the first rays of dawn filtering through the windows. I looked up at the doorway, expecting to see the figure, but it was gone. I stumbled to my feet, my body trembling, my mind reeling from the events of the night. Had it been a dream? Or was it a terrifying encounter with the lingering presence of the Villisca Axe murderer? I gathered my equipment, my hands shaking uncontrollably, and fled the house, the events of the night seared into my memory. I never returned, and I never spoke of what I had seen. The haunting of the Villisca Axe Murder House remained a secret, buried deep within my soul, a constant reminder of the terrifying power of the unknown. The experience at the Villisca Axe Murder House left an indelible mark on me. The chilling growl, the icy touch, the malevolent figure in the doorway. It all haunted my dreams for weeks afterward. I became obsessed with understanding what I had encountered, delving into the history of the murders, researching local folklore, and even consulting with paranormal experts. I learned that the Villisca Axe murders were a brutal and unsolved crime, a tragedy that had shocked the nation and left a lasting scar on the small town of Villisca. 8 people, including 6 children, were brutally murdered in their sleep, their bodies discovered the following morning. The killer was never identified, and the motive for the murders remained a mystery. The more I learned about the murders, the more I realized that the entity I had encountered was not merely a ghost, but something far more sinister. It was not the spirit of a victim, but something that had latched onto the violence, feeding on the fear and suffering that lingered within the house. It was a malevolent force, a creature of pure evil, that had used the house as a conduit to torment me. The experience at the Villisca Axe Murder House changed me forever. It instilled in me a profound respect for the darkness that lurks within the human soul, a healthy dose of skepticism towards the supernatural, and a deep-seated fear of unsolved mysteries. I continued my work as a paranormal investigator, but I approached each case with a newfound caution, a healthy dose of skepticism, and a constant awareness of the unseen dangers that lurked in the shadows. The haunting of the Villisca Axe Murder House remained a secret, a dark chapter in my life that I rarely spoke of. But the memory of the growl, the touch, the figure in the doorway, would forever be etched into my mind, a constant reminder of the terrifying power of the unknown, the chilling legacy of a night of unspeakable horror. The silence of that house was not empty, but filled with the echoes of lives brutally ended, the lingering scent of fear, and the unseen presence that still stalked its rooms, a chilling testament to the enduring power of evil, a reminder that some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. The house stood, a silent sentinel, a monument to terror, a place where the past refused to rest, where the echoes of violence still resonated through the empty rooms, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved, some doors best left unopened. The feeling of being watched, even in the bright light of day after my escape, did not leave me. The very air around the house seemed to vibrate with a dark energy, a palpable sense of dread that lingered like a shroud. I knew then, with a chilling certainty, that the house was not merely a place of tragedy. It was a conduit, a gateway, a focal point for something far more sinister, something that transcended the boundaries of human comprehension. The silence of the house was not empty, but pregnant with unseen presences, with whispers of forgotten horrors, with the lingering echoes of a night that had shattered the peace of a small town and left a stain that time could not erase. The house stood, a monument to the darkness that lurked within the human heart, a reminder that some evils were not confined to the pages of history, but lingered, waiting, watching, their presence a chilling testament to the enduring power of fear. Please guys, visit our channel for more horror videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share the video. Thanks for watching.